A lot of people want guidance from historians to try to assess what the hell just happened in this election. Is history a good guide for this election?
I think it's less useful in the immediacy of the moment. Here we are at the AHA talking about the first 100 days, and we really have no idea what to expect from this particular president-elect in these particular 100 days, because he fits no model of the past that we can extrapolate from. And in that sense, I think that we really are in a wait-and-see mode more than we are in an advise and assist mode.
Some people see parallels to Woodrow Wilson. What do you say about those?
Well, in my case, I think there's a lot to be said for Woodrow Wilson's flaws and limitations in the kind of ecumenical, big tent way in which this country often prides itself as a multiracial democracy. Trump won in part on bigotry. He won on part on a small vision of a particular kind of America that's been quote-unquote left behind. And Woodrow Wilson, in his two terms, particularly in his second term, catered to a kind of nativism, a kind of broad-based bigotry, a kind of xenophobia against foreigners, particularly for the threat that they pose to national security. And I worry that Trump may be more Wilsonian in Wilsonian's limitations than he is in Wilson's capacity in the end to have a grand vision of the world. That is something that Trump does not have.
Well, Wilson was an intellectual. Donald Trump, apparently not much of an intellectual.
An anti-intellectual.
An anti-intellectual.
Yeah, I just described him here, as someone who was not only an anti-intellectual, but also an isolationist and an anti-statesman, none of which fit Wilson as an individual or as a leader of the free world.
You opened up your talk by drawing a very striking analogy with Star Wars.
Yes.
What's the analogy?
Well, that we just elected essentially Chancellor Insidious, who is the character who essentially is responsible for being Darth Vader's mentor. And in that sense, what I'm trying to capture is that the entire Star Wars saga is very much about the world's challenge with fascism and totalitarianism. And we are witnessing the rebirth, not only here in America, but abroad. And Star Wars offers us, in that parable, a way of thinking about the relationship of the past to the present, a way of thinking about what kinds of challenges we actually face in this country. And what I argued here is we're not quite at the point of revolutionary war with the Jedi Council and the Knights re-emerging, but we most certainly need as much dialogue as possible to prevent violence from being the next step in this country.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah.